Welcome to this video on part 2 of for statement. So in this subsection you will learn for loop with enumerate function, for loop with else statement, what is nested for loop, when to use for loop and when to use while loop, and some example applications of for statement. Here we are printing all the fruits one by one like this, but say for example we want to print the fruits with their index or some data item with their index. So here we can see that mango is at index 0, banana is index 1 and apple index is 2, grapes index is 3. So we want to print this fruit. So enumerate is a function that assigns an index to each item in an iterable like list, and we can use that index later on, but here we will just see how we can generate index. Here we can see that in previous program we can see that we are just specifying list of fruits in for loop, but now we can see that we are specifying the fruits as a argument to the built-in function enumerate, and then we are taking the index as well as the one fruits. Here the enumerate function assigns index to each of the fruits in the list. So here we are getting the index and then the fruit from the list. So this way it will go on taking the index and the fruits one by one and we are printing. So now let us run it. So here we can see that index is printed and then fruit is printed. Index and the fruit is printed side by side. Similarly, say for example we have a list of numbers and we want to print index of each of the numbers, and here we are specifying these numbers as argument to enumerate function. We are taking the index and the number from the list and then we are printing the index and the numbers using a formatted printf statement like this. Now let us run this. So here we can see that index 0, number is 3.4, index is 1, number is 5.0, index is 2, the number is 8. So this is how we can use enumerate function with the for statement. Now let us look at what is for loop with else statement. So else statement will get executed when loop ends. So just at the end of the for statement we have a else keyword with colon. So this indicates the start of the block of statement within the else part of the for loop. This statement, the else part of the for loop, is always executed after the successful completion of the for statement, and this statement print end of the program is outside the for loop as well as else statement, and this statement is always executed. So now let us run this program. So this program will print the numbers from 1 up to 5 and then it will print this message and finally this message. So here we can see that it has printed numbers from 1 up to 5, then the for loop is over, this message is printed, and then end of the program message is printed. Now let us look at what is the meaning of nested for loop. So nested for loop is nothing but for loop within for loop is called nested for loop. Here we have a first for loop, then the second for loop within the first for loop, and this complete block is considered as a part of the first outer for loop, and this is a inner for loop, and for inner for loop this is a block of statement, and these statements are outside the inner for statement but are within the outer for statement. The syntax of each of the for statement is same as whatever we have discussed earlier, but only thing is here we have a for statement within other for statement. And now let us look at one of the example of nested for statement. So here this is a outer for statement and this is a inner for statement or a inner for loop. Outer for statement iterates over the sequence of numbers from 1 up to 4. So here it will generate number 1, 2, 3, 4. So again here also we have say 1, 2, 3, 4 because the range is 1 to 5. And now let us print it. And this statement is considered as a within the inner for loop, and this is outside this inner for loop but is within the outer for loop. So all these statements are considered as a part of outer for loop, but only one statement is there within the inner for loop. Now let us see how this nested for statement is executed. So first I will take 1 from this range, from this sequence, then it will come inside this loop. Here j will take value 1 as this sequence generates number 1 to 4, j will take value 1 and here it will print 1. It will again go in the loop, will take second number, print j, again take the next number, print the j3, and j again takes the value 4 and then print the j. So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. Now as this complete sequence is iterated for this for loop, now it come out from the loop, it will print a new line. This print statement will generate a new line again it will go inside this for statement because I has only taken value 1. So now I will take value 2. Again it will go inside the j. Again this loop will iterate through 1, 2, 3, 4 and print 1, 2, 3, 4. Again it will come out from the loop, print a new line. Again I will take 3 and 4 and this way it will go as so it will print 1, 2, 3, 4 4 times. Now let us run this program and here we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed 4 times because this loop, outer loop decides the number of rows and this will decide the number of columns to be printed. So here it has printed numbers in 4 columns. Now say for example if we change this number, say here if we change this number, say we have 9 over here, then it will print numbers from 1 up to 8 4 times. So here we can see it is printing. Suppose if I print I over here, then it will print value of I 8 times. Value of I is printed 8 times because here value of I varies from 1 to 4 and is this inner for loop prints j, so this will iterate for 8 times and hence 8 times 1 is printed, 2 is printed, 3 is printed and 4 is printed. Now let us see what happens if we multiply I into j. Now let us see. So here we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is printed. And vertically we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed. From here we can see that here 2, 4, 6. So this is one kind of multiplication table. So here we can see that 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 2 is 6, 4 into 2 is 8, 5 into 2 is 10. So this is one kind of multiplication table which multiplies value of I and j. So this is one of the application of the nested for loop. Now let us look at when to use for loop and when to use while loop. So for loop should be used when we already know the number of iterations, or it is used when we have to iterate through a collection or iterable object like list, tuple, set, etc., or a generator function like range. And while loop should be used when number of iterations are not exactly known. For example, we have to iterate through a menu in a program and menu is given like this: add an element in a list, edit an element in a list, delete an element and display all elements of the list. In advance we may not be knowing how many elements we will be adding to a list and how many times we need to edit the elements in a list or how many times we will be displaying. So here it is not predictable in advance how many times we have to iterate through a loop. So this kind of choice based, menu based program we should prefer to use while statement. Now let us look at some of the example applications of for statement. For statement should be used for processing any sequence data like string, list, set, tuple. It is used to perform matrix operations like addition of matrices, subtraction of matrices and multiplication of matrices. It is used to generate and print multiplication table. One we have seen like this. For statement can be used for generating first and Fibonacci numbers also, similar to the while statement. It is also used to find all the prime numbers between given range n1 and n2, and there are number of other applications. It is used for all those applications where we have to repeatedly execute block of statement and we know in advance that this many iterations are required, or we have a sequence data. Here are some of the exercises for you. You can solve these problems and write a Python program for this. So this is all about the part 2 of for statement. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great time.